Hello and welcome to Rome 2 Total War Multiplayer 2 versus 2. Here we have my Roman general, and here we have my Roman allies commanded by Patrick. And over there somewhere is Carthage and some Roman rebels that have sided with them, apparently. So in any case, I've got my Legatus unit, of course. In rear defense of my infantry are two gladiator spearmen. My main body consists of 5 avocati cohorts, and I have 4 auxiliary Syrian archers. My cavalry is 2 units of Praetorian cavalry and 2 units of legionary cavalry. Patrick's army has a couple auxiliary infantry out to either flank, one I think to each side. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's also got 5 or 6 avocati cohort, along with a couple of hastati acting as screens for his large number of Syrian archers. 1, 2, 3. Looks like, well, no, maybe he's only got 4. Maybe he's got the same number I do. And somewhere he's got a couple units of cavalry mixed in. There's his legatus and some legionary cavalry, and there's another unit of legionary cavalry over here. Can't see much of our opponents yet, so we can't really go over their armies since I like to mix up the maps, and so this one had a lot of trees on it. So we're getting to fight in a forest. I did, right at the beginning, come out here and we catch a glimpse of 2 elephant units. 1 unit of African elephants and 1 unit of war elephants with 2 chevrons. Not sure that's really worth it. It's already an expensive unit. It's already a good unit. Doesn't really need to be improved or made more expensive. So it looks like our Roman opponent has also based his army around Avocati cohort. It's hard to ignore the stats of the Avocati cohort for the price line. So, okay, so yeah, 3 legionary cavalry moving out. Let's go into real time and see what happens. So Patrick's out here running a recon in force, trying to get an eye on these Romans who have taken up position in the woods for the moment. So he's kind of coming out into the open here while I'm setting up on his flank in this little stand of trees. We see some Carthaginian troops emerging now, so what it's looking like is a corps of hoplites, including 1 unit of Sacred Band. And he looks like he spent quite a few points. Looks like this has 5 experience upgrades or 4 experience upgrades. And he's done that kind of across the board, which still seems like a waste of points to me. If you have leftovers, by all means upgrade a few units, but upgrading across the board doesn't seem worth it. So now he's also got these 2 mercenary Italian swordsmen, and somewhere he's got a general and bodyguard unit floating around. And he also has, as we'll see in a minute, a few Balearic slingers that he's sent out in front as scouts and skirmishers. Okay. So Patrick's massing his auxiliary infantry on this. Nope, he's not massing them. They've just changed sides for some reason. They got confused in the march, maybe. So he's got these cheap units of hastati out here, basically acting as shields. You know, tougher in any way than these archers are, with this big old shield to try to protect his infantry, or his missile units rather. So that's his plan. And now I've spotted these Balearic slingers look like they were getting kind of exposed, so I tried to send a cavalry attack on them, and then all these hoplites and these elephants showed up. So it's like, no, let's not do that just yet. That seems a little bit risky. So I'd kind of like to draw those elephants out into the open where my archers can get them with flaming arrows and heavy shot and things like that. Do some damage. So I'm going to pull back and try to get them out into the open. Meanwhile, the skirmish is well underway here. Although the Roman rebel army has some protection in this forest, unfortunately. Which will help compensate for the fact that the slingers don't have as good a protection as the archers do. The archers have better armor. And these legionary cavalry got a run on the enemy legionary cavalry. That was sort of an inconclusive engagement. Didn't really gain any advantage. Just killed off of some of each other's cavalry. There's a few units of cavalry back here. I think they're also legionary cavalry. I don't know if he had any Praetorians or not. I was mainly focused on the other side of the battle. So while this skirmish is going on, neither team or neither army here is particularly ready to close the distance, although they're running cavalry sorties back and forth. I've moved out my infantry as the Carthaginians have revealed their sacred band and hoplite line, and they're going to go and put them into hoplite wall to help protect them from these missiles, which I mistakenly had targeted on them. So I'm just now ordering a mass attack here in a second. First I'm going to let these guys get lined up. Then I'm going to order a mass melee infantry attack, figuring that I have the edge on these hoplite units, even these good ones. And I don't see any reason to sit here and let all these slingers shoot at me. So I'm just going to go in. And these group orders sometimes work out good. Other times you get situations like this where you get two attacking one unit, and then this unit somehow got left here unengaged. And that's actually going to work out for me since he doesn't react with this unit for some time. So I'm just going to go ahead and let these guys sit here and fight it out with the hoplites and try to send in these Praetorian cavalry around the flank. They're going to get a nice rear charge on these guys. And this unit, Praetorian Cav, is going to redirect and try to take out these Balearic slingers. Meanwhile, his general is way back here, away from any supporting units. So I sent my legionary cavalry back here and used their Draco ability. So they're going to gradually take him down. Although, if I'd known he was going to take so long to die, I would have sent that other legionary cav too, which is currently hanging out back here, kind of unwilling to engage these elephants who've just attacked my Praetorian cavalry. Meanwhile, these war elephants have engaged. So you see them trying to hit him with flaming arrows, and I'm bringing in these gladiator spearmen, and they've popped their whatever it is, the one that boosts their attack up. Or maybe it's their weapon damage. So you see their weapon damage is going up, maybe 47. So I did manage to panic those elephants who just ran back. Yeah, unfortunately they ran through one of my units, but they also clobbered one of his sword units. So call that a decent trade. Meanwhile, they're rampaging away from the fight, and they've already lost a couple of their guys. So as soon as they started to panic, I went and switched them into heavy shot. So now they're going to come over here on heavy shot and start hitting up these African elephants and try to knock them down. See, they charging into the back of this melee like that, they didn't do a lot on the charge, and infantry hold better against cavalry, including elephants, than they used to in previous patches. So they're not punching through me in the way that they might have before. So meanwhile, there's a big Praetorian cavalry rear charge coming in here. These legionary cav that were fighting their general. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the other unit of legionary cav comes through for another rear attack. This one's still fighting his general and is about to kill him. Meanwhile, the engagement is about to begin in earnest over here, as you see all these various evocati and cohorts attacking. In this case, they got a evocati on a spear unit, which is really not the kind of match we want. Patrick has pulled back his Syrian archers, and they're still able to shoot into this fight, so they're contributing. All the slingers are trying to help out, shooting these guys on the flank. So the Hastati are doing what they can, trying to flank these evocati, but they're not really going to last that long against a much higher quality unit, especially since they've already taken damage, presumably from missile fire. So in any case, on my side, I'm just basically wrapping them up. Those spears were able to slow me down, but they weren't able to stop me. He didn't have enough swords, and I was able to use the archers to take out these elephants, which is one reason why I wanted to hurry up and not extend the skirmishing phase, because I didn't want to lose my archers. I wanted to keep them to fight the elephants. By engaging him, it forced him to commit the elephants, so I was able to use flaming and heavy shot to take them down. So at this point, the Roman traders have realized that their Carthaginian masters have been defeated, and he sends a couple of units over here just to slow me down. That's all he's got is this Legatus unit and a couple of Velite units, and basically my cavalry is just going to jump all over them, and these gladiators are going to come in and try to help kill off the Legatus. Meanwhile, all my infantry and skirmishers are trying to form up this way in order to join this extended melee that's happening over here. And it's hard to tell exactly who's winning. It looks like it depends in places. You see there the Roman enemy got a good charge off into these Syrian archers, and Patrick is able to bring his Legatus in to try to hold them. These other, oh, he did have a couple Praetorian cavalry, looks like. Two of them, okay. And they're just being chased around the battlefield by these auxiliary infantry. And this infantry fight's kind of a mixed bag. So this looks like about even, winning here, about even here, about even here. Winning over here as these Avocati are just cleaning up. But now, with my troops coming in and his general about to go down, he really doesn't have much chance of holding on. He wasn't able to knock Patrick out quickly enough to prevent me from coming in to finish this battle. So I didn't get a great rear charge there, but it was enough to break these guys' morale. And now the overwhelming press of numbers is going to start to cause these guys to waver and rout. So basically the last units out here are going to be this Praetorian cavalry. But they also are going to make a run for it as my Evocati come pouring back into the fight. And that's pretty much it. So we'll just go ahead and fast forward these last few seconds. Not much else to discuss. Alright, so my heroes. This legionary cavalry killed an awful lot of skirmishers running around behind the lines once the Carthaginian player got fully engaged. And the reason they were able to do that is you can see right here. He only had 6 infantry units, including those hoplites. And I just had more units than he was, so I was able to engage them. And basically, he didn't have enough units to prevent my cavalry from running free behind him. So these Praetorians also did quite well, getting a number of rear charges and things like that. And this legionary cav must have been that one that got clipped by the elephants. The Avocati almost across the board did reasonably well. This one got beat up. That's the one that got hit by those war elephants. So that's where most of those kills came from. But in general, the elephants didn't do enough damage to justify their points. That was the big story. That and these hoplites were able to hold, but you see combined they only did 37 kills between the 3 of them. So yeah, even the Sacred Band only did 29, and they still died. Yeah, so just not enough to fight off all my heavy melee infantry, and the elephants weren't able to get a good enough charge off to destroy my melee troops. On the other side, both of their cavalry didn't do as well as it might have. Patrick's legionary cavalry must have got caught up in a melee. I didn't see what happened to them, but they didn't really accomplish much. But his Avocati cohorts more than made up for it. They did quite well. The spears didn't do much, but they were there kind of to scare off cavalry. Skirmishers traded about 1-to-1, and the Hastati did basically what you'd expect them to do. Wow, 222 on that Avocati. They must have been fighting the Hastati or something. But just in general, Patrick had more heavy infantry. He was able to take these guys out, despite all the damage that these 3 units of Praetorian cavalry did. And he was able to extend that fight long enough for me to come over. I'm not sure what would have happened if Patrick and David had continued their fight one-on-one. But in any case, thanks to Patrick for another good game, and a good game also to our opponents, Pablo and David. So if you like this video, please do hit the like button on this video, comment, subscribe, etc. I'm Southern Wolverine, and this has been more Rome 2 multiplayer. And all of you, go ahead and have a great day.